At recent, British Channel 4 has produced a series of Chinese documentaries. One episode was devoted to the secrets of the Forbidden City. Explained the principles of the Forbidden City in detail for British netizens. Also, let countless foreigners look foolish. The Forbidden City is the modern imperial palace in Beijing. Located in the center of the central axis of Beijing. There are 70 palaces of all sizes with more than 9,000 rooms. It is also the largest extant scale in the world. One of the best preserved ancient wooden structures. The Palace Museum covers an area of 720,000 square meters. The new airport in Beijing has the same area as the newly built terminal. We all know that the new airport terminal was built with a lot of steel. It is designed by scientific means, and the highest seismic grade can reach grade 9. But the pure wooden structure of the Imperial Palace than Beijing's new airport seismic rating is even higher. What the hell is going on? In a British documentary. One of the projects was to test the Forbidden City against earthquakes. The show invited professional carpenters to build a structural model of the Forbidden City. To achieve as much accuracy as possible, carpenters used traditional tools and methods. It was made on a scale of 1 to 5, and eventually, a miniature replica of the Forbidden City was created. It is tested by seismic simulation. The initial challenge was a magnitude 4 earthquake. After the test, the model began to shake slightly. The brackets pulled, but there was no sign of collapse. Then the programming increased the magnitude of the earthquake. By magnitude 7.5, the left and right walls was collapsed. But the structure remained solid. Finally, they began the ultimate test, which measured 9.5 on the Richter scale. It was also the highest earthquake magnitude ever recorded, equivalent to 2 million tons of TNT. The model of the Forbidden City began shaking violently when the earthquake reached a magnitude 10.1. All the walls had collapsed into ruins. Yet the model still stood firm in front of him. There was only a slight displacement, the program never expected. A wooden building has a higher seismic rating than any modern building. The Forbidden City has experienced many earthquakes in the upper class of history. On July 28, 1976, the Tangshan earthquake leveled Tangshan, Hebei province. The magnitude of the earthquake reached 7.8. Beijing, more than 150 kilometers from the epicenter, was rocked. Only the Forbidden City remained unscathed after a brief period of turbulence. Statistics show that the Forbidden City was built over 600 years ago. It has experienced 200 earthquakes, large and small. But each time can retreat, stand up in the rain. The key to this building is the dugong. The dugong is a unique structure of Chinese architecture, mainly composed of arch and square blocks. And don't need a nail and a drop of glue. It can make 2 pieces of wood fit perfectly. Each floor of the combined dugong has a flexible and loose space. It can deform and dissipate energy, thus greatly reducing the damage degree of the building. In an earthquake, it acts like a car shock absorber. The dugong structure is widely used in the Imperial Palace. It is also a commonly used structure in the whole history of Chinese architecture, such as our common Sai He Yuan, wooden pagoda, palace, temple and so on. In addition, China is the first country in the world to apply the concept of vibration isolation to buildings. The Forbidden City was built with earthquake resistance in mind. Several vibration isolation techniques are adopted. Finally, achieve a strong earthquake does not fall, the wall does not collapse the effect of the house. In addition to dugong, they also discovered another secret of the Forbidden City. That is the pillar that looks ordinary. The pillars of the Imperial Palace are very different from other buildings. Traditional building pillars are usually buried deep in the foundation. It is easy to cause the column to break if it encounters strong vibration. In addition to the perennial underground moisture and insect erosion. Eventually, the pillars are very fragile. And the Imperial Palace columns specially built a pile base, also known as the stone pier. Because the columns are not buried underground, they can withstand a certain amount of sway during an earthquake. Prevent rupture that could lead to the collapse of the entire building. In addition, the interior of the Forbidden City also acts as a shock absorber. For example, palace lanterns are fished with long iron hooks. When the roof wobbles, the hook swings in the opposite direction because of the reaction. Eventually, the shaking forces cancel each other out. The British show is known for its flexibility in judging the Forbidden City. It is this kind of soft with rigid characteristics. The result is a 600-year-old miracle. It also proves the wonders of traditional Chinese architecture. In addition, the history of the construction behind the Forbidden City is even more shocking to countless netizens. According to the records, The construction of the imperial palace took a total of 14 years. Millions of workers, and 100,000 carpenters across the country. The Beijing-Hangzhou Grand Canal alone carries 420 million liters of grain north to Beijing each year. The materials used in the construction of the Forbidden City are from all over the country. More than 100,000 nanmu trees came from the southwestern region 1,800 kilometers away. The floor tiles came from 1,000 kilometers to the south. 80 million stone slabs from Nanjing and so on. The ancient people used their wisdom and diligence to build this hitherto unsurpassable wonder.